Ready for some Adriatic sunshine. Today we're taking a deep dive into Croatia.
We're going off the beaten path, using these 3 online articles to uncover some hidden gems.
You had me at hidden gems. I always pictured Croatia as beautiful coastlines, but one source mentioned Roman palaces and a museum about breakups.
Yeah, it's a really cool mix. Croatia's got this layered history, Greek colonies, Roman settlements. You can feel it in the streets.
Makes you think about all the history those places have seen.
For sure. Like Diocletian's Palace, it's this amazing UNESCO World Heritage Site right on the Dalmatian coast. And then in Zagreb, you've got that Museum of Broken Relationships, showcasing a different side of Croatia.
Okay, the Museum of Broken Relationships just shot to the top of my travel list. But let's head to Dubrobnik. Those walls overlooking the Adriatic are iconic.
Dubrobnik is a fascinating place, that's for sure. And it's earned its UNESCO World Heritage status. Those walls are from the 13th century, and they're not just a pretty face.
What do you mean? What's it like up there?
Oh, the views are incredible. Imagine walking along those ancient ramparts, the sun on your face, and you've got the whole city below with the Adriatic stretching out behind it. It's breathtaking.
Now I'm picturing myself sipping Croatian wine on those walls. But let's get practical. How do you actually get around Dubrobnik?
The old town is best explored on foot, just wandering those narrow streets. It's really like stepping back in time.
That sounds incredible. And if you want to go further afield,
They've got buses and taxis, of course. But for a unique experience, one source recommended renting a kayak.
kayaking the Adriatic. Now you're talking. And what about this Buza bar? I keep hearing about it. It's built into the cliffs, right?
Ah, Busa Bar. It's a bit of a local secret. Picture this. You're perched on a cliff overlooking the Adriatic, sipping local wine as the sun sets. Pure magic.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Okay, from one amazing location to another, let's journey inland to Zagreb.
Zagreb's a really cool city. It blends grand old architecture with modern design in this really interesting way.
It sounds like there's a lot to discover.
There really is. It's a city of contrasts with the historic upper town and then the more modern lower town.
And somewhere in there is that Museum of Broken Relationships. Tell me more. I'm hooked.
It's not your typical museum. It's full of everyday objects, but each one tells a story of love and loss donated by people from all over.
Wow. It sounds like a powerful experience. But on a lighter note, is Zagreb a walkable city?
Definitely. The center is pretty compact, perfect for exploring on foot. But they also have a great tram system with these blue trams that date back to 1910.
A tram ride through history.
Oh.
I'm in. So if we're walking around Zagreb, what are we looking at?
The upper town is stunning. Cobblestone streets, cafes, amazing views. You can easily lose yourself exploring up there.
They're making me want to book a flight right now. Okay, all this exploring is making me hungry. What about Zagreb's food scene? So about those culinary adventures, I'm ready to ditch my usual breakfast for something new. What's on the menu in Zagreb?
Zagreb's got it all. You can find traditional spots called kanobas, Michelin-starred restaurants. It's a real mix.
I'm all about those hidden gems. What should I order in a kanoba?
It's all about hearty, home-style food. You could try strukli. It's a kind of savory pastry, often with cheese. And of course, you can't go wrong with schnitzel or zagrebachi or drizek, as they call it there.
Sounds amazing. You know, after a day of exploring, I love finding a good craft beer. How's the beer scene in Zagreb?
It's booming. Lots of craft breweries popping up. There's a place called the Beer Tija mentioned in one of our sources. Sounds like they have a great selection and a cool atmosphere.
Okay, the beer Tej is going on the list. A beer garden after a day of sightseeing, perfect. But we can't stay in Zagreb forever. What about day trips?
Zagreb's a great base for day trips. One popular option is Seljume. It's the highest peak in the Medvednica Mountains, just outside the city.
A mountain escape so close to the city. It sounds beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Although, full disclosure, I prefer a scenic gondola ride to actual hiking.
Me too. Luckily, you can take a gondola up Seljume. They've got a newly built one that takes you right to the top. The views are supposed to be amazing.
Okay, the gondola ride alone sounds worth it. But let's say I'm feeling adventurous, want to see something a little different. Any hidden gems outside of Zagreb?
If you're looking for charm, there's a town called Samobor, not far from Zagreb. It's known for its beautiful streets and its pastries.
Did you say pastries?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
They have this famous cream cake called kromenita. It's as good as it sounds.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Okay, last question before we move on for history lovers. Any good day trips from Zagreb?
Definitely. Varaždin is a must-see. They call it Little Vienna because of the Baroque architecture. It's stunning.
Little Vienna. I love those places that transport you back in time. Okay, let's head back to the coast and talk about Croatian food. especially those Adriatic seafood dishes.
Croatian cuisine's such a great mix of Mediterranean and Balkan influences. Imagine fresh seafood with local olive oil, herbs. It's all about those fresh seasonal ingredients.
I'm already sold. Give me some must-try dishes. What screams Croatia?
When in Dalmatia, creamy risotto is a must. It's black risotto made with cuttlefish ink. Sounds strange, but it's delicious. And for something a little heartier, you could try passacata, slow-cooked beef in red wine sauce. Don't forget the local wine.
Black risotto, slow-cooked beef. You're killing me. Okay, we have to talk about the wine. What should we be drinking in Croatia?
Croatia has a surprisingly diverse wine scene. On the coast, try Pušip or Malvasia. Those are both white wines. And for red wine, you have to try Plavek Mali. It's a full-bodied red.
I can picture it now, a glass of Plavek Mali overlooking the Adriatic. This is pure food and wine heaven. Okay, before we get too carried away, let's talk practicalities.
Of course, a little planning never hurts.
Exactly. What's the deal with currency in Croatia?
Good news. Croatia adopted the euro in 2023, so no need to worry about exchanging currency.
That makes things so much easier. What about the language? Is English spoken much, or do I need to brush up on my Croatian?
You'll be fine with English in the tourist areas, but it's always a good idea to learn a few basic phrases. It shows you're making an effort.
I'm all for embracing the local language. What are some must-know phrases?
Hvala means thank you. That's always a good one. Molim is please, and Dobar dan means good day.
Vala, molim, Dobar dan. See, I'm practically fluent already. What about other cultural norms? Anything we should be aware of?
Croatians are very welcoming, but it's always important to be respectful, especially in churches or religious sites. Make sure to dress modestly, cover your shoulders and knees.
Good to know. We've covered so much sights, food, travel tips, but there's one more thing I have to ask about. Wellness. I have a confession, I'm a bit of a wellness junkie.
Well, you're in luck. Croatia is becoming more and more known for its wellness offerings.
Really? Tell me more. What kind of wellness experiences are we talking about?
One region that stands out is Kvarner. They have these incredible thalassotherapy centers where they use seawater for therapeutic treatments.
Seawater therapy, that's a new one. What exactly is that?
Basically, you soak in seawater pools, often with amazing views of the Adriatic. They also use seaweed and other marine elements. It's meant to be incredibly relaxing and rejuvenating.
Seawater, seaweed, Adriatic views. Count me in. What other wellness experiences should I have on my radar in Croatia?
If you're looking for something active, check out the island of Lužinj. They call it the island of vitality for a reason.
Island of Vitality. That's quite a title. What makes Lužinj so special? Island of Vitality. That's quite a title. What makes Lužinj so special?
It's got this really unique microclimate, and it's home to all these aromatic herbs, over 1,000 different kinds.
Wow, over 1,000.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can go hiking, cycling, or tons of trails. Plus, they have all these wellness centers offering yoga retreats, aromatherapy.
Sunrise yoga, surrounded by Croatian herbs. You've convinced me that's my next vacation planned.
And if you love wine, you have to check out the Peljak Peninsula.
Peljak, we haven't talked about that yet. What's special about it?
Yeah, so imagine this. A peninsula just south of Dubrobnik, all rolling hills and vineyards, right next to the Adriatic.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Sounds beautiful.
It's incredible. They make amazing wines there, and it's still relatively undiscovered, so you can escape the crowds.
That's my kind of place. Tranquility, vineyards, and ocean views. This whole deep dive has been fantastic. So much good stuff. Although, part of me wants to keep these places a secret.
Right. It's that travel dilemma, wanting to share your discoveries, but also wanting to keep them special.
Exactly. Although sharing can inspire other people to discover new places, too.
That's true. It's always fun to swap travel stories.
Definitely. Makes you think, though, about all those hidden gems out there. Do you think it's those less touristy places that give you a more authentic experience?
I think so. Don't get me wrong, those iconic landmarks are amazing, but when you discover something off the beaten path, it just feels different, more special.
It's those unexpected encounters, those moments that really stick with you.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, I say embrace the unknown. Don't be afraid to get a little lost. Try something new. Talk to the locals.
The locals always know the best spots. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Croatia.
Maybe it's inspired your next trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Until next time, happy travels, everyone.